The Vatican is responding to a Pennsylvania grand jury report detailing sexual abuse by priests. The report says hundreds of priests abused more than 1,000 children over a span of 7 decades. It said a cover-up of the abuse went all the way to the Vatican. Nikki Battiste has the latest.
Late this afternoon, Vatican spokesman Greg Burke read this statement.
There are 2 words that can express the feelings faced with these horrible crimes: shame and sorrow. The abuses described in the report are criminal and morally reprehensible.
The statement was in response to a 2-year Pennsylvania grand jury investigation that uncovered decades of sexual abuse by more than 300 clergy members, preying on at least 1,000 minors. A statement from the Pennsylvania Attorney General's office said the investigation revealed a systematic cover-up spanning decades by senior church leaders in Pennsylvania and the Vatican. Still, the Vatican added this.
Victims should know that the Pope is on their side. Those who have suffered are his priority.
Sean Doherty helped launch the investigation. He was just 10 years old when his family priest began sexually abusing him.
What's your response to the Vatican's response?
You pulled an old statement out of the archives. You know, Roman Catholic playbook in the Vatican page, name a number.
The Vatican says the Pope is on your side. What do you say to that?
If he's on my side, he hasn't been on my side ever.
You've been speaking in the last hour with other survivors at the Attorney General's press conference about this statement. What's everyone's reaction?
Yeah, rage, anger, disgust.
Nikki Battiste joins me now. So, Nikki, we heard from the Vatican. I wonder what church officials here in the U.S. are saying about this abuse report.
A lot of church officials are saying, look, you know, many say a lot of this happened a long time ago, so they're a little bit defensive, but they still address the fact this is still an ongoing issue. Clearly, the reforms that were put into place, which included mandatory reporting to law enforcement, haven't worked entirely. A lot of the survivors I've spoken to said, we have no doubt there is still abuse going on today. And we're hearing from more dioceses across the country that may start to release names of priests that do have allegations against them.
And the Conference of Catholic Bishops had a statement. What did they say?
They said that they need to work. They want to lay out a plan to the Vatican. They'll have a meeting here in Baltimore in November where they plan to lay out a more concrete plan. They've called this a moral catastrophe in the church and clearly want to find a way to improve.
The president of the Conference of Catholic Bishops is urging officials to take more concrete steps. But, I mean, do we have a sense right now what those concrete steps might be?
He actually didn't lay them out specifically in his statement. He said, but they will involve the laymen, they'll involve the clergy, they'll involve the Vatican. So clearly as some sort of comprehensive idea, I would imagine a more specific reporting routine when this does happen in the church. But we don't know yet. Clearly there was some outrage today, and I think they feel a lot of pressure to respond to not just what's going on here in Pennsylvania, but around the world.
So the report came out on Tuesday, and people were wondering, when is the Vatican going to say something about this? Do we know why it took 2 days for the Vatican to have a response?
We were reaching out to them twice a day after the report, and they indicated they would. I imagine just going through that nearly 900 pages is probably what took some time. They wanted to really read through it and make sure they knew the specifics. So I would imagine that's what took some time. It was clearly a very careful response as well, and not really specific on any particular steps they'll take.
And what is the latest on the Pennsylvania Attorney General's actual investigation here?
So this 2-year investigation is closed, but they have a hotline for victims to call. They've already heard from more than 150 victims who hadn't come forward before since the report came out. They told me they are going to continue this investigation, and we are hearing there's some other states that may be looking into allegations in their Catholic churches as well.
All right, Nikki Battiste reporting for us. Nikki, thanks very much.